finished with that kid, he'll be begging me to be his teacher. And you know what he's gonna learn from me? Pain in every part of his body and fear in every part of his mind. And here's the kicker. He's gonna thank me for it.
Hey everyone, and welcome to my latest video. So I know I posted a while back that I was going to do a video on my second favorite film villain ever, and that is Terry Silver from Karate Kid 3. Now I know what you're thinking. I mean, is he really one of the best film villains ever? Well, I mean, in my opinion, he knocks it out of the park. I'm a huge fan of the Karate Kid series and absolutely love the new Cobra Kai show. Got to say that long before Karate Kid and Cobra Kai was popular, I mean, as a fan, I did find an amazing t-shirt, which I'm just going to show you today. So I used to wear this back in the day. It's got the Strike First, Strike Hard, No Mercy logo on the front, and on the back it has the amazing Cobra Kai symbol. But I'm getting a bit older and bigger now, so it doesn't fit quite as well. But let's talk about film villains and why I love Terry Silver.
Look, everyone needs a teacher, Daniel. I'm opening the Cobra Kai dojo again. It's time to set things straight. Anytime you want to train, I'll be there for you. No strings attached.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that, but, well, listen, thanks for helping me out.
Hey, it's my pleasure. All right, I'll see you around.
Yeah, I'll see you.
I guess a lot of my friends were asking whether the film villains who are tragic anti-heroes or have some streak of good about them, or the ones where you can understand their motivations, these are the kind of film villains a lot of people like. Not really for me. I'm a big comic book fan, and so I love the grand archetype of villains on film. I like the guys who have great Machiavellian intentions, the people that really want to try and manipulate as much as possible, the people that are just pure evil to a level where just no redeeming features about them whatsoever. So I think Thomas Ian Griffith was an amazing actor, still is, I guess, and that was one of his first roles for Karate Kid 3, and he played it with such enthusiasm that it just elevated the whole film to another level.
Hey, I like that! Oh, I like that, Johnny! I'm gonna use that!
I mean, it's interesting that he was actually younger than Ralph Macchio when he was doing the film, but the film is so enjoyable to watch just purely for his performance alone, I think. And the audacity, I guess, of his plan, because he really shot from the moon there with what he did. So without further ado, let's get on to the sort of 5 big reasons why I think Terry Silver is my second best film villain of all time. Number 1, he's a millionaire and he's so bored with his multi-million-dollar lifestyle that he takes time out of his busy schedule of running his company to help avenge an old friend and basically terrorize an 18-year-old kid and his mentor. I mean, that alone is villainous enough. He just seems to really gleefully want to go after Daniel and Miyagi.
And that punk kid, I'm gonna get them for what they did to you. They made you suffer. So I'm gonna make them suffer and suffer and suffer, and when I think they've suffered enough, then I start with the pain.
Especially the fact that they've wronged Kreese. So I think, just on that fact alone, his grandiose scheme is amazing. I mean, even, he picks out some clothes that make him look less rich. He picks out banged up car. I got to ask the question though, they only had 3 cars. He didn't like the first 2, so what if he didn't like the third one? I think they'd have to go out and find some more cars for him.
Margaret, I'm going to be working full-time on this from now on. Full-time.
Very good, sir.
No. It's too nice. I got to look poor. This isn't bad. Fix the collar.
Make me look humble.
And about the Borneo calls?
All right, but that's the last one. For the next few weeks, my business is strictly revenge.
Everything is in place, sir.
All right, let's see what you got for me. Cute but wrong. It's got no character. Truck. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Make sure it runs. Yes, sir.
Second reason is just the way that he manipulates Daniel so well. I mean, he turns up and he gets Daniel to believe his story, and he just teases Daniel with little snippets of information and basically sows small seeds of doubt in Daniel's mind as to whether Miyagi is really having his best interests at heart.
Johnny, by the time that little twerp steps into the ring to defend his title, I'm going to have him thinking he's invincible. And then he's going to find out what pain and fear really mean. Right in front of 1,000 people.
And effectively, you know, he destroys Daniel's relationship with Miyagi. That was the thing that really you couldn't touch in the first two films. And the reason he was so successful. But this one, you know, within a short period of time, Silver has turned Daniel's relationship with Miyagi completely on its head.
Yeah?
Miyagi.
Damn it. Did you come back later?
Daniel-san, why are you doing this to yourself?
Doing what?
What you doing?
Because, Mr. Miyagi, extreme situations require extreme measures, okay?
Ah, Daniel-san, that not sound like you talking.
Yeah, well, it is me talking, all right? Look, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I got problems, okay? And if you're not gonna be part of the solution, just don't give me a hard time about it, all right? Okay, you got it?
And you know, it's really interesting to watch the way he manipulates Daniel. So loved that part as well. Third part, I love this part about him as well. He hires a guy, bad boy Mike Barnes, to intimidate Daniel and pressurize him into fighting in the tournament. And not only does he hire a guy who is the bad boy of karate to come and harass and terrorize Daniel, but in the film as well, he actually beats him up halfway through it to get Daniel to be on his side and believe him even more. So that element I thought was really wonderful as to making him, you know, a really audacious screen villain.
There's nothing you got that I can't counter. Your karate's a joke.
Let him up, punk.
Who, you, his mother?
Maybe. Get up.
Get up! You see this? You see it?
Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. I ever see you even on the same street as this kid, I won't be so charitable with your help. You understand?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes!
All right. Get the hell out of here. Who is that guy?
That's the lunatic that wants my title. I was hoping you would have killed him.
No, that's not what karate's about. It's for defense.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Here, here's your book.
Oh, I brought that for you.
Fourth point that I want to mention is Quicksilver. I mean, what a regiment that is. I think the fact that he came up with Quicksilver, you know, man can't stand, man can't fight, man can't see, man can't fight, man can't breathe, man can't fight, is awesome. Some of that, you know, from a technique perspective holds absolutely true. Maybe not the man can't stand part with the rise of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA, but if man can't see or he can't breathe, he certainly can't fight. And the directness of Silver's technique that has Daniel salivating is quite amazing.
There are three things that make a champion. The three D's. Desire, devotion, and discipline. The first two I can't give you. the last one I can, but you have to be willing to receive it. Are you, Mr. LaRusso?
Sure.
The response you're looking for is yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, right. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Stand up straight. Now, over the years, I've developed a system of intensive, short-term training for situations just like this. It comes in 2 parts and has 3 rules. I call it Quicksilver.
That's good.
You like that, huh? Rule number 1. A man can't stand. He can't fight. Repeat it.
A man can't stand, he can't fight.
With conviction, Mr. LaRusso.
A man can't stand, he can't fight.
Good. All right. Imagine these 2x4s are legs. Sweep them.
What are you... What?
That's too low.
Any higher, it'd be like hitting the knee, right?
Did you come here to teach or to be taught? We're not sweeping floors here. Harder. Come on, put your hip into it. That's where the power is.
Right.
That's it. Harder. Harder.
Ow!
Ow? Ow is not an acceptable key on this dojo, Mr. LaRusso.
Well, isn't this a little bit extreme, sir? I mean, come on.
Extreme situations require extreme measures. Come back tomorrow, we'll start again. You did good for your first day.
Thanks. Hey, I really appreciate all your help. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
But then he even turns Daniel into this mean machine, you know, like a very aggressive person that he wasn't before. And even when he's teaching Daniel, he tells him that the crane kick is useless. But the best part of all of the whole Quicksilver regime is the fact that Kreese tells him that he wants to make Daniel's knuckles bleed after the scene in Karate Kid 2 where Miyagi confronts Kreese in the parking lot and dodges so that Kreese punches a window and his knuckles bleed. And Terry Silver, when he hears that, he's I like it, I'm going to use that. Just the overacting was brilliant, but not just that, but he did incorporate it. He got Daniel's knuckles to bleed. So again, another goal established and achieved. He destroyed Miyagi's relationship with him, and he got his knuckles to bleed.
Let's try it over here. And your friend. Reverse punch. Ah! Visualize. This is not a bunch of sticks and pipes anymore.
This is a living, breathing, fighting machine that wants to detach your head from the rest of your body.
It's blood. So what? Make believe it's his.
This guy wants to break you, humiliate you, stomp you into the ground. Now what are you gonna do about it?
Now!
Then do it! Yes! You did it!
I did it!
You did it! You nailed it! You nailed it! Oh, you're ready!
Final point I want to make is that the tournament. This is where you really see Terry Silver coming into his own as a villain, because not only, you know, is he manipulated Daniel the whole way, messed up the relationship. He really wants Daniel to fight. He does want, you know, Daniel to defend his title and Miyagi to be there to witness Daniel's hopeful defeat. But while he's doing the tournament, he tells Barnes to win a point and lose a point so that he could just torture Daniel for quite a bit longer.
Together, we are about to open a chain of Cobra Kai dojos, where young people can come and learn the same values I've learned. Honesty, compassion, and fair play. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the final match.
Thank you, Mr. Silver.
And thank you again for your most generous contribution.
Remember the game plan. First you win a point, then you lose a point. Keep the score 0-0. Pulverize him for the full 3 minutes. Then in sudden death, you get the point, we win. I want him to experience pain. First he suffers.
Then he suffers some more.
Representing the Cobra Kai.
So yeah, there's a line he says,
Now the real pain begins, Danny boy.
On your line.
and just at that point you realize that this guy has nothing good in him. It's just all, you know, evil and torment and aggression, and it's just so over the top that I love watching it. I think he's an amazing performance by Thomas Ian Griffith. So those are the main points I wanted to mention as to why I think Thomas Ian Griffith as Terry Silver is my second most favourite film villain of all time. I wanted to give some honourable mentions though. So the fact that he tells Daniel and Miyagi that Kreese is dead is stunning. It's a stunning move. It's such an amazing thing because at least the payoff at the end where Daniel goes to confront Silver and Kreese jumps out to surprise him, and he jumps out from behind a cardboard cutout of himself. That fact alone makes the film legendary in my opinion. So that scene is brilliantly set up by Terry Silver.
What's it gonna be, Danny boy?
It's gonna be, I'm not gonna be there, so just forget about it, all right?
Let's show Mr. Kreese how he's gonna get his business back.
Next, he shouts out,
You think this is the end of it all, man? I'm gonna open Cobra Kai dojos all over this valley. Hell, I might even teach for free. From now on, when people say karate around here, all they'll mean is Cobra Kai karate. John Kreese's karate. You won't even be a memory.
so he's not even done. You know, he's still trying to use his influence to screw Daniel over and screw Miyagi over. And even at the end, you know, he's not taken away. He's not arrested for anything he's done. You know, Daniel wins the tournament, but he's still out there, and really he can do whatever he wants. He's a millionaire. So that was really good to see, I think. And finally, Thomas Ian Griffith's Ki, or as he calls it, Asa, which I loved hearing every time he was fighting. That Asa is something that will always hold a special place for me.
You see this? You see it?
You know, he does the war to you know, sort of goad Miyagi at the start of the fight, and that was great to see. But you know, really, the Asa is genius. The war is great, and then you know he starts to fight Miyagi with that line, "Come on, man, let's see how good you really are." And it's actually a decent fight. I mean, if you watch it, it was pretty good to see. So really, you know, I thought the character of Terry Silver was brilliant. I really enjoyed the relationship he had with Kreese. I actually wanted to see a show, if they could do it, about him and Kreese in Vietnam on their tours, going around sort of kicking butt. I think they could have called it It's Party Time. That would have been a great name for the show.
Party time.
But I do know that Silver's a character that is getting more and more attention and traction, especially with the new season of Cobra Kai coming out, which is an amazing show. I have nothing but praise for that show. I can't speak highly of it enough to people. The creators have done an unbelievable job of taking an old property, making it modern and relevant, and giving us enough homage and throwbacks and callbacks to the true fans of the show and the series, and also the fact that they really understand the characters really well. They're giving them really great depth. They're no longer two-dimensional. So really keen and excited to see what they have in store for season 3 and if Terry Silver is going to come back.
Look, Terry, you don't have to do that.
Don't have to. I want to. It's not over. We're Cobra Kai.
Come on, say it. Cobra Kai. Say it, Cobra Kai.
Never dies.
Bet your ass.
So that was it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you understood my reasons for really enjoying Terry Silver as a film villain and why he ranks as number 2 on my list of greatest film villains ever. If you want to know who number 1 is and number 3, then drop a comment in the section below, or you can check out my other videos. I've got quite a few on old school films, and it would really help me out if you could like and subscribe to the channel. So thank you very much. Have a great day and see you soon.